Welcome to the Government News Brief for Tuesday, March 22, 2016. In the news, Guyana and CARICOM to benefit from new developments in Cuba-US relations, health officials urged to further their studies, and more Guyanese voted in the 2016 local government elections compared to 1994. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. The Chief Medical Officer sees the need for medical practitioners and regional health officers to continue their education in keeping with the demands of their jobs. Here are the details.
Chief Medical Officer, the CMO, Dr. Shamdeo Prasad, is urging continued medical education, CME, as well as self-evaluation for medical personnel at the government level. This, he said, would improve the quality of patient care and create opportunities for promotion of medical staff. According to Dr. Prasad, there are many young regional health officers, and the Ministry of Public Health has made a decision to provide training for those persons. PAHO is supporting the government in this effort.
Our requirement to function and be appointed an RHO is at least a master's in public health along with your medical degree or some other health sciences related degree. We are working during this year to try to effect some scholarships and sponsorship for key regional health officers and other persons so that they can complete such training and be adequately skilled, to execute those functions.
Dr. Prasad told regional health officers at a recent meeting that he is currently engaged with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPA, on an international training program in field epidemiology. It is this program, along with laboratory training, that was developed by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and implemented across the world.
There is a Caribbean program which we did not participate in initially, but we have since obtained a grant to participate in this program. And this is for our mid-level, the health center supervisors, the nurses, the lab workers, and even some of our district medical officers can participate in that program. If you complete all 3 stages of that program, I think the University of the West Indies is considering awarding a Master's in Science, right? There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. We will commence the level 1 program that will focus a lot on the practical aspects of field epidemiology and laboratory training.
Medical practitioners were also encouraged to obtain their government CME credits. For this Government News Brief, Paul McCallum reporting.
Despite the low turnout, more Guyanese voted in the 2016 local government elections than the last one held in 1994. Here are the details. Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan sees the number of persons casting their ballots at the recently held local government elections as an indication of the population's interest in the election.
It may be recalled that at the last local government elections in 1994, the turnout was then about 32%. Many persons may also be aware that in the recently held general elections in Jamaica, the turnout was only 47%. So if our local government elections is anywhere close to that, I think it's a vindication that people are interested in the process. And even though it is a fact that they've only been, yesterday was only the second local government elections in the last 45 years, it shows that our people still want to participate in this process.
The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, on Monday confirmed that less than 40% of eligible voters exercised their franchise during Friday's local government elections. Some 507,584 persons were registered to vote in 542 constituencies across the country. Only 239,070 persons voted, representing a 47.1% voter turnout.
You'll find that there was a higher turnout in the township as opposed to the other NDCs. And this is so because of the vibrancy of the debates which took place, the fact that there were challenges from independent groups, political parties, and other individuals, that in fact, I believe, energized the population. But this might have come a little bit late.
The municipality of Mabaruma recorded a 58.44% turnout. The municipality of Anna Regina, 53.55%, and in the municipality of Georgetown, the voter turnout was 37.66%. New Amsterdam recorded a voter turnout of 40% and Rose Hall 49.19%. Just under half of the registered voters in the municipality of Corriverton voted. Meanwhile, the municipality of Bartica in Region 7 recorded 49.15% voter turnout, and the municipality of Linden a 50.35% voter turnout. The municipality of Linden recorded the lowest voter turnout with only 35.15% of the 23,888 persons voting. Historically, at local government elections, the voter turnout are lower than those of the national and regional elections. April 30 is the statutory deadline for submissions of income tax, corporation tax, property tax, and capital gains returns. Persons are advised to submit early.
Employed persons have until April 30th to submit their tax returns. Persons need to ensure their returns are submitted on time or face penalties.
The free payer threshold is $600,000. So anything above that $600,000 is subject to a 30% tax. That was how it was before. What happens now is you now have that $600,000 threshold, and the NIS deduction is no longer taxable. So what happens, persons will now minus the threshold and the NIS deduction, and what is left, the 30% tax applies to that.
Persons who would have worked for only 6 months for the income assessment year are entitled to a free income of $300,000. Income tax forms are submitted along with an original copy of the 7B slip, which is obtained from employers. This slip provides summary information of the person's earnings. This would include allowances and taxes paid for the assessment year.
The 7B slip comes with an original and a duplicate copy. When you submit your income tax return to the Guyana Revenue Authority, you are going to be issued with a lodgement receipt. For your information purposes and for your record keeping, we advise persons to maintain a copy of the 7B slip. That's a duplicate copy, and they can attach that to the lodgement receipt. So if at any point there is a query as to whether or not this was submitted, you have that as your evidence.
Penalties would be applied to persons who submit false statements of income or for failing to submit an income tax return. Renetta LaFleur, Government News Brief.
As a new era in the Cuba-United States relationship begins, Guyana and its CARICOM counterparts stand to benefit.
Guyana has, from the very beginning of the SPAT and its independence, urged closer relations with Cuba. That is between the region and Cuba, between Guyana and Cuba, and between the U.S. and the hemisphere and Cuba. So the fact that the U.S. and Cuba have now cleared a path that will enable closer relationship is politically welcome.
That was Guyana's Minister of Foreign Affairs and the second Vice President, Minister Carl Greenidge. He said that a new phase in dialogue is necessary due to the challenges facing not only the region, but the entire world.
Dialogue, which is very, very important amongst us in a region with so many challenges, which is also facing a world with some very, very almost wild challenges in terms of the growth of terrorism, cybercrime, and so forth. I think, one cannot overestimate the value of greater dialogue and closer relations between the countries in this wider region.
According to Greenidge, the improved economic prosperity that Cuba will have is something that the Caribbean will also benefit from.
It has been in the past a major global tourist destination. It still has that capacity, and it is also a place where technical skills are pretty high compared to many other parts of this hemisphere. In those circumstances, the improved collaboration with the U.S. will enable the region to integrate at, let me say, less cost, with positive benefits for all the players in the region.
Minister Greenidge is optimistic that the recent 3-day visit to Cuba by U.S. President Barack Obama will lead to better relations all across the region and further afield. Paul McAdam, Government News Brief.
The rehabilitation of the Kitty Market is seen as a good move by the Kitty residents and vendors.
She is 134 years old, the Kitty Market. Now, with some much-needed repairs, she will resume her place of pride as one of Guyana's oldest market.
I am very happy and glad that the market has rehabilitated because for a very, very long time it was in a very deplorable state. And I think by doing that we will be able to do a better, more business.
The rehabilitation long overdue. It's good that we're getting it now. Never too late, but good.
But so far, we market going okay. We don't have a problem or nothing with the market. And we're thankful for the market. Thank you.
The repairs are being done in phases to accommodate the relocation of some of the vendors and are being supervised by the City Engineers Department of the Mayor and City Council. The market is currently being rehabilitated at a cost of $240 million. Work started early February and are expected to be completed in time for the country's 50th independence anniversary celebration. The Kitty Market, which was established in 1882, had deteriorated drastically over the years. This was an inconvenience for its vendors and the residents of Kitty.
This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the Government News Brief along with all other GINA programs on our website. Please subscribe to our website and YouTube channel and like us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for our Pagwa edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.